Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz with Mildred. I'm executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. Mildred is executive cat at ClassicsToday.com. She wants to play fetch, so I'm going to have to put her down now. Here you go. That's a good girl. Okay. There you go. So I have to get the fetch object. Hang on. Here it is. I keep him in my pocket. Yes, there it is. Fabulous. You ready? Go! Happiness. So, what are we talking about? Yeah, I got this box here. I think we needed a cat. Something to just jazz this up a little because we're talking about Max Reger, the Reger Collection. They just keep trying. They really do. Now, a lot of what's in the Reger, this is Brilliant Classics. And they do wonderful box sets of things. And a lot of what's in here has been issued before by Brilliant Classics or other labels, the Berlin Classics, Reger box. I mean, Max Reger he's just never going to, I don't know. What can we say about Max Reger? He wrote some terrific music. He really did. He was a post-Wagnerian chromatic sludge meister, basically. And he wrote mostly in abstract forms, tons of organ music, lots of variation and fugue and contrapuntal things. He was not a great orchestrator. His orchestral music is turgid quite often, although he wrote some masterpieces. The 4 Buckland tone poems, glorious, absolutely marvelous. But they're in the box here, of course, but not the best performance of them. So we'll talk about that in a moment. But people keep trying, and I don't think he's ever going to be all that popular. He's kind of like maybe the German Delius. Well, no, because they're so different aesthetically, but it's kind of similar because they're also sort of post-Wagnerian sludge meisters in their way. And you admire the craft, the technique, but it just sometimes doesn't work. Sometimes it does. A lot of the things he did best are not in areas that you would think. I mean, he wrote some lovely piano works, some beautiful chamber pieces, and a lot of terrific organ music for organists. But, you've got to be able to tolerate that. So it's difficult. It's just difficult. So this new box has 18 CDs of mostly reissued material. And let's just see what's in it. I'm a loyal fan. I mean, I keep trying. I really do. I mean, there are some really, really fine works. Well, there's a little booklet. Okay, we don't care about the booklet because it doesn't tell us anything. And then we've got this stuff, a list of things on the back and the individual discs. But to really know what's on the discs, we have to look at them independently. We begin with orchestral music. Okay, so this is the Staatskapelle Berlin under Ottmar Sweetner, and we've got his ballet suite. If ever there was a guy who was not going to do ballet music, it was Reger, but he did it anyway. It's Commedia dell'arte stuff. It's Pierrot and Columbine and all that stuff. Columbina, whatever. The concerto in the old style, which is quite charming. And his variations in fugue on a theme of Beethoven, one of his briefer, which is good, variation sets. Then we've got the variations in fugue on a theme of Hiller. Oh, that's a heavy-duty work. This thing is 44 minutes long, and it's with the Gewandhaus Orchestra under Franz Konvichny. It's a famous performance, and it's a good performance, but boy, it's heavy weather, some of that music. It really is. Variations in fugue on a theme of Mozart. Could anything be less Mozartian than Reger? Probably not. The Staatskapelle Berlin under Heinz Bongartz. And Bongartz is kind of he's not a terribly imaginative conductor. You also have on this disc the Buckland tone poems with the Dresden Philharmonic, which is not the Staatskapelle Dresden, different orchestra. And Bongartz is okay. I mean, he's just not exciting. He really isn't. Then we have the Sinfonietta. Let's see who's doing this one. This is also Bongartz. And To Hope for cello and for alto and orchestra, and the Hymn of Love for alto or baritone and orchestra, both of which are snooze fests. But the Sinfonietta is very heavily scored. It's dense and not really light and Sinfonietta-like much at all. But he didn't write a symphony formally, so that's as close as we're going to get. The Violin Concerto with Manfred Scherzer and Herbert Blomstedt and the Staatskapelle Dresden. It's a very fine performance. It's 57 minutes long. It's enough to make you slit your wrists. It is lethally dull music. What a pity. And this is hilarious. The Piano Concerto, which is one of the worst piano concertos ever. The only good recording of it is Rudolf Serkin with the Philadelphia Orchestra at Ormandy, because they play it like romantic music with impulse. It's like 10 minutes shorter in this performance. This is with the famous, unbelievably famous pianist Amadeus Weber-Zinke. And Amadeus Weber-Zinke with the Günter Herbig and the Dresdner Philharmonic. Oh my God, if you are awake by that, when that's over, you are a better human being than I am. The Symphonic Prologue to a Tragedy. 26 minutes of tragic prologue. Can you believe it? You wish they'd get to the damn tragedy already. My God. His Romantic Suite, which is charming. It's nice. This is Heinz Rügner and the Berlin Radio Symphony. And that's, I think, all the orchestral stuff. That is. Then we have his String Trio in A minor, which is Opus 77B. There's an A out there somewhere. It's a lovely work. It really is. It's his chamber works, like I said, they don't seem to have as much obsessive note spinning as his orchestral pieces do. His Clarinet Quintet, Opus 146 from 1915. He wrote a lot, and he didn't live that long either, so that's pretty cool. It's a lovely work with the Valerius Ensemble. CD9. How many discs was this? Oh, yeah, 18. Piano Trio, Opus 102 with the Artium Trio. Oh, that's nice. Serenade, Opus 77A. Well, that's, the Opus 77B is the String Trio, right? Wasn't that? Yes. So 77A is his Serenade. It's for flute, violin, and viola. A charming work. Really a charming work. And the Serenade, Opus 141A for the same forces. It's nice and refreshing to hear him play this kind of music. It really is. Because you know that he's got the ability to just go on forever, spitting out contrapuntal, googie hoogies. But here he's concise and really charming, and he writes some lovely tunes. He really does. 3 clarinet sonatas. Yeah, a whole pile of clarinet sonatas. With, let's see who's doing this, Claudio Conti clarinet and Roberta Bamboche. Is that what it is? Yes, Bombace piano. Nice performances of, people are always looking for good repertoire for clarinet, and these are good pieces. They really are. 3 suites for cello solo with Martina Biondi cello. I could not care less about this music because I just find it dull. That's me. Cellists will, have a picnic. 3 suites for solo viola. Oh, it's as exciting as the solo cello stuff. I mean, it's not like there's a lot. And again, these don't overstay their welcome. The movements are generally brief, and you can listen to them. I mean, it's okay, but somehow they don't really do it for me. And this has other stuff for viola by Vieuxtemps, Penderecki, Benjamin Britten, and Stravinsky, with Luca Sanzo viola. I mean, good performances, but the music is just. What do you expect? Seriously, what do you expect? I mean, Okay, then we got a bunch of organ things. Now, organ stuff, well, you got to like organ stuff. We've got his Chorale Fantasias, Chorale Fantasias, Opus 27, Opus 30, Opus 40. It's based on Lutheran, hymn tunes, of course, with Wouter van den Broek, who's a very good organist. My goodness. With some organ somewhere in the Netherlands that I'm not even going to begin to try to pronounce. Then we've got the Chorale Fantasias, Opus 52, which is 3 more of them. These are like 15 to 20 minutes each. They are big, heavy-duty, like I said, maybe turgid is the word, but they're very well performed by this guy. I can't argue with him. Then we've got organ sonatas 1 and 2 with Adriana Fulcioni. Let's see, with some organs in the San Lorenzo Metropolitan Cathedral in Perugia, and the Fantasy and Fugue on Bach. He had to do it, right? So those are there, and we have the Symphonic Fantasy and Fugue in D minor, the Inferno Fantasy, 23 minutes of Inferno. Some of these introduction Passacaglia and Fugue, these are all, updated heavy-duty Bach-like things that last about, they're long, they're big, and they're long. And this is with Roberto Marini, playing something in Luxembourg and something in Austria. Maybe both at the same time. He had long fingers. And then, let's see, Variations in Fugue. Oh, this is piano stuff. Variations in Fugue on a theme by Bach, and let's see, Dreams by the Fireside. Well, now, this is interesting. The Variations in Fugue on a theme by Bach are one of those endless, interminable variation sets that Reger seemed to love writing. You may like it more than I do. It's been recorded quite a few times, rather successfully. But this thing, Dreams by the Fireside, romantic, charming, melodic, really a lovely side of Reger that's worth getting to know. And then the last disc is Sacred Songs, Opus 138 and Opus 110. These are 5-part motets or 4 to 8-part motets for mixed voices, a cappella choir with a little bit of orchestra in the Sacred Songs. Oh, they are so boring. Oh, my God. You just want to die. So there you have it. That is the Reger Collection. It is a really generous and I think effective sampling of his oeuvre, if you're curious about it. If you want to have his best work, the Berkland Tone Poems, his best orchestral piece, and that stuff, the Reger, just get Jarvi with the Concerto on Chandos. You just can't beat it. It's terrific. It's absolutely wonderful. And, Marc-André Hamelin did some Reger for Hyperion, which was terrific. If you want to have variation sets played at another level entirely. But on the whole, it's good. It's good. It just may be a lost cause. And I don't say that to be, dismissive. I don't. I mean, there are just some composers are not meant to be popular, and Reger is certainly one of those. But he has his following. And you may be one of those people who responds to him. And if you do, then by all means, get this set. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.